All right, so we can expect another huge blow for motorists. Price hikes of over R1 for all grades of fuel from midnight. This after the Mineral Resources and Energy Department confirmed today that unleaded petrol will be hiked by R1 14 cents a litre, well, 93 increasing by R1 and 8 cents. Diesel going up R1 96 cents a litre, and gas up by R2.5 a kilo. Let's cross now to our reporter Nokwazi Qumbisa. She's getting reaction from motorists around this fuel hike, which is coming in just a few hours' time. Nokwazi, you're at the Shell in Glenhove. Talk to me about what motorists are saying to you this evening.
So far, the motorists that we've talked to, Sally, have just raised concern about how much this comes at a time when they weren't anticipating it, and the fact that, like we know, that this is the fourth consecutive petrol hike in less than a few months, and they're also complaining about the salaries remaining stagnant. So I'll just cross over here to a car with a couple of young people who are filling up. And hi guys. Hi. Can you please tell us about how much petrol you guys just had to load and what's the difference compared to the last time?
Well, I just paid 800 Rand just to fill up the tank, but there was petrol before. Usually I'd probably have to pay around 500, 600, so there's a significant increase and it's pretty budget crippling.
And you talking about your budget, I take it that you're a student, right? Yes. So how do you think this is also going to affect the cost of living? As a young person, you're in university and you just had to take so much from the money that you had set aside for other things in order to fill up the car.
Well, essentially I have no disposable income anymore and I can only get necessities at this point. You live around a certain budget because of the constant petrol hike and everything else, obviously, the inflation. So I can't really get that much stuff. I can only get necessities at this point.
Thank you very much. As you can hear, Sally, people are, as expected, not pleased at all about the hike that will kick in from midnight.
Absolutely. I know you're going to speak to someone else. Let's have a listen.
Yes. Evening.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks, and you? Can you please tell us, how do you feel about this unexpected petrol hike?
It makes it very challenging. As a teacher, I'm already dealing with lower salaries, so it means unexpected cuts in budgets. It means rushing to come and fill up my car because it becomes something I can't afford. So pretty frustrating, stressful.
The fact that most South Africans are living very much hand to mouth, it means that we all are now going to have to be very much more mindful about our spending. We were mindful already about our spending habits and all of that, and now this is just going to put even more pressure on everyone.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of pressure, a lot to handle, very expensive, yeah.
Very expensive indeed. Now, I want to find out from you guys, what do you think can be done to cushion South Africans? What could governments do specifically?
The only thing I can sort of think of is if they were to lessen the fuel levies. That makes up so much of the fuel price. We are paying so much more than any of our neighboring countries purely because of the government levies on top of the fuel price. I don't know what else can really be done.
We have a lot of smart people in some high positions, and I think we really need to go back to the starting blocks and really start taking the people of South Africa in mind. Yeah.
Now, just to backtrack on what you said on the fact that it's going to be so much pressure on South Africans, considering families that also support their relatives, and some families might also be dependent on social grants, how do you think that's going to affect them also?
It'll have a devastating effect in general. People are really, really going to be struggling more than they have already. We already have such big issues. These social grants, are not enough to support people as it is, on top of a fuel hike. So it's really going to put people in hectic positions. yeah, it's going to be a lifestyle that people can't afford anymore, just basic living, not doing anything other than just surviving. So, yeah, detrimental effect, personally, I feel, but yeah.
Yeah, and on that social grant point, we just went through that period now where some people weren't receiving their social grants, and that's just, it's added pressure for them, and I mean it's something they never expected to happen, not receiving social grants, and with a huge hike in fuel prices, it's just, as I said, just huge pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you can hear, Sally, those are the sentiments from the people that we've spoken to so far.
Yeah, absolutely, Nokwazi Qumbisa. Thank you so much for bringing us the view from the street. And you know what's so interesting is how these are middle-class South Africans, and they are feeling the pinch. They're really worried about how they're making ends meet. But it's incredible to see how they are so mindful of people who have so much less than them. You know, the talk of people who are living hand to mouth, people who've just got social grants to live on. If the middle class is really feeling the pinch, the very poorest of the poor are in a very dire situation. And you know, earlier this year there was a lot of talk about trimming the fuel levy. Some adjustments were made, but I don't recall seeing a big overhaul that we were expecting. And I think a lot of the people you've spoken to this evening have made some really excellent points. Thank you so much. Really great to chat to you, Nokwazi. Do stay with us here on SA Tonight. Social grant beneficiaries, we heard that motorist mentioning it. Well, we've heard the October payments have seemed to have gone fairly smoothly, but we're going to bring you